is what the trigger looks like.
Yay.
And then set screws with adjustable pre and post travel right there on the back. What is going on, guys? It is Tony from Mobile Paintball, and today I've got the new infamous murder machine trigger already installed, but we're not going to go there. I'm actually going to show you guys how to install it on the Planet Eclipse EMEK. So don't forget, the gun and trigger are available. LoneWolfPaintball.com, shop our online store. We are the best source for paintball. And continue watching. I'm going to show you how to install this. All right, guys, now that the stock trigger is back into the gun, let me show you on how to install the new infamous murder machine trigger. So you do have a little dowel pin here. Can you see it, Mark?
I can.
Boom, boom. So you have your trusty, I like to use a rubber mallet or something that's not completely metal. This and like a little punch, screwdriver, Allen, whatever you guys want to use, should be able to go into the actual hole. You got to make sure you have the right side. Break that up. Hold up. There is, let me get it loose a little bit though first. Let me get it loose so I can show you. All right. So one side is going to be completely flat and one side has a little, I don't know how well you can zoom in there. You see the grooves? Does that work?
Yeah, they've got teeth on them.
Okay, they've got teeth. You want the grooves to always go outward. You're not trying to punch the grooves through the center of your frame out the other side. Find the groove. You can see it when you actually look at your gun, and then push that out the same side that the grooves are on. Don't ever push the grooves through the frame. So
you'll know pretty soon when you start tapping if it's moving.
Correct.
You're going the right direction.
So maybe Mark,
if it doesn't, then you're going the wrong way. And
we'll be able to zoom in on that so they know what we're talking about with the grooves on the one end, just a flat, nice piece of metal on the other. I'm not sure, but you guys will know, like Mark said, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Don't force it. Tap, tap, tappy, tap.
You can tap that out. You can do that first, last, whatever you guys want to, but the second and most important part of this is there are two Allen screws, one in the back of the frame and one just inside of the trigger frame as well.
So there we go.
Tilt it. You can see the back one and the one in the frame. Beautiful. Okay, so you're going to need an 1/8 inch Allen wrench to actually take these two screws off the frame so you can access the inside panel, and then we'll go from there. So grab your 1/8 inch, whatever, T-handle or shorter Allen wrench, whatever you guys want. So your T-handle there. I'm going to use a shorter one just because you can get in the back of the handle a lot easier with a shorter 1/8 inch Allen wrench.
And your EMEK should have came with an 1/8 inch one in your kit.
Yeah, I would assume so if you ever had to take her apart for a little service or whatnot. So Mark and, I don't know, Mark's going to pass some time right now while I'm unscrewing these. Okay, cool. And then you'll notice the EMEK actually unhinges from the front of the gun. So pull your frame down in the back and then pull it in the back and then pull it towards the back. You will see it'll actually unhinge with this front piece there. Now you can access the inside panel, which I'm going to have to take apart next. Let me grab a little tiny Phillips head screwdriver here. Boom. And Mark, let's see. Zooming in. One. Okay, let me know.
Yeah, just hold it still. There we go.
1, 2, here. 3, 4. You're going to need a tiny Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to have to pull this top panel off to be able to access the actual trigger to pull it out. So wait patiently. Unscrew the 4 silver tiny Phillips head screws on the inside. One. All right, so now that I have the 4 screws taken out of the actual panel there, you'll notice on the back side of the panel, this is where your trigger spring clicks into place. It has a nice little groove holder there. Trigger spring sits in the inside. Boom, let's set that off to the side. Now we have access to push the safety from the right side of the frame. Should be able to wiggle that bad boy right on out. And then, voila, trigger falls right out of the frame. All right, now here comes the infamous murder machine trigger install. same as the way you took it out. Let's put it back in, but with the new trigger.
Before you stick it in, can you show me the trigger so I can see where the set screws and stuff are real nice and clean?
Most definitely. Okay, so this is what the trigger looks like.
Yay.
And then set screws with adjustable pre and post travel right there on the back.
Nice.
Got it? Okay, cool. Looking good. So, obviously the trigger fell out. Let's drop this one in. Boom. Just drops right on in there, the same way the old one fell out. Drops in, fits pretty nice. Okay, let's, okay. This is where we're gonna get a little tricky. Two things. If you guys received the first version of the infamous Murder Machine trigger, they are, some of the inside ball bearings actually, I don't know, say they weren't sized right, Mark?
Well, I thought it was that the pin in the stock EMEKs
Well,
fluctuated in size slightly. So sometimes they
correct.
fit inside the ball bearing on the new trigger, and sometimes, unfortunately, they didn't.
I know the newest models that they have, everything is already pre-assembled, and they're showing you that the new pins do work. If you do have one of the first versions, if you have any issues with the trigger install, some did, some didn't, you contact Infamous Paintball and they will surely help you out and send you a new pin to actually fit the trigger if it doesn't work. So, second thing, like I said, there was two things. I went along, did a little research, and the spring. So the stock spring, where'd I put it? Right here. Boom. Stock spring looks like that. I read a lot of forums online, you know, people are talking, and they said if you took a spring out of like a ball pen, like a pen you click, you want to write with it, click, click, you can actually do your own, you can have a lighter trigger pull with the actual gun itself. It's up to you guys. You guys can use the stock spring or whatever spring you want, but I decided to do a little modification here and got my own spring that fits on the trigger, and that's what I'm using. So I'm gonna pop this out. I'm gonna put my stock spring, custom spring on the other side. I'm gonna put this spring on the trigger, and it just sits right there on the post. Well, if I can just wiggle it on there, boom. So that's what it looks like. It sits on the post of the trigger, and then just drop it right on into the frame. And then I'm going to put the actual pin back in there. So, oh boy, pop the pin in there, and let me just get it lined up. So obviously, when you're installing that back, get the pin lined up the right way. Actually, this has got to go back a little bit over. And you guys will know when you got it just like that. And we are in business. Boom. And then here we go, installing the top plate back on. Make sure this hole here, you can see right there, goes in the spring. So when you line it back up, this hole is made for the spring to go inside to keep it nice and snug. Put it back onto there, and then, Mark, what do you think I'm going to do next?
I hope you're going to put the 4 screws back.
Oh, and I'm going to put the safety in before I forget.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to do that too. Slide the safety right on in there.
Always use your safety, boys and girls.
Yes, indeed. You don't want any accidents. All right, safety's in. Trigger's still working. Now we're installing the 4 silver screws you took off the plate in the first place and just screwing them back in. So this is the boring part, Mark. Just, bear with me. Do 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 do.
And if they want their new trigger installed in their new EMEK that they buy from Lone Wolf Paintball, how much will it cost them for you to install?
Oh my gosh, like $20, something like that. All right, now that I got all the screws back installed, let's don't forget, pop the frame on the front with this little hinge. Hinge it up front first on the body, and then click the back in. Boom, boom. There you have it. Obviously, you're going to have to throw your 2 screws in the back in. 1/8 inch Allen. Screw those bad boys back on in. And there we have it, Mark. That is how you install the trigger on the gun.
See, all that, even with you around it, it only took about 10 minutes.
See, not too bad. So, quick video on the install of a new infamous murder machine trigger on the EMEK. So, guys, don't forget, shop lonewolfpaintball.com. We do have some of the best merch in the game, some of the best products out there completely available on our website, and the jerkyden.com for some of the best lean protein in the game.
Does that thing come in other colors than red?
Red, black for sure, and like a gray pewter, I think. Okay. So I think 3 different colors currently for the infamous murder machine trigger. Check them out, infamouspaintball.com, Lone Wolf. And until next time, guys, if you're installing one of these new triggers, hopefully this helped you out. If you're local, bring it on in, and I can help you out in store. Take it easy.
Yay.
Bleh.